This is going to be going over what you should be crafting in the Astral Forge. You're going to need Astrium in order to start a craft, and then once you start crafting, by spending energy, cores, or flags, you'll be able to get points. And these points will all go away once you finish crafting your equipment and claim your piece, and then you'll get more points after you start another craft. Note that you're not gated by time, you're gated by Astrium. There is no time limit on this, so you can take as long as you need to get your perfect piece. Now for what you should craft, it pretty much depends on what you want. Tank gear, DPS gear, bruiser gear, it'll be a bit different depending on what you're going for, but we'll talk about all of it. And then I'll show some of the pieces that I've crafted in previous versions of this event. So I'm going for a DPS gear myself. For DPS, you'd probably go Destruction, Torrent, Pen, or even Immunity or something. I'm not a huge fan of going for speed on DPS gear, just because I feel like speed DPS gear, you usually want the high roll to speed, and you can't choose your rolls in this. You only get the gear at base, and you'll have to roll it, so I don't like going for speed set. I would just say Destruction or Torrent or Pen for the most part. I'm probably going Torrent, and then if you're going for bruiser gear, Destruction, Immunity, Pen, HP, whatever sets you want pretty much for it, or counter. And then tank gear is going to be like HP, immunity, or maybe even protection pretty much, or speed. So make sure you're not picking bad sets is the main thing. I think if you also want to pick a super niche set, that's okay. If like you want a Riposte, Flan, or Fern or something, and you want to pick a more niche set, it's fine as long as the set is actually good. Just because, since you can pretty much get a piece that you want, getting a more niche set means you can stop farming for that set a lot faster, which could be nice. We're going to go for Torrent here. Confirm, and you can go back and change it. It'll just cost you points to change it again, I think. Not 100% sure if it costs you points again, but you should just decide immediately. Now for what slot, it's going to be right side gear. For like pretty much everybody, go for right side gear. Generally, I like accessories more. The boots are also perfectly fine. For me, I felt more of a need for rings than I have for necklaces. So I'll be going for a necklace, or I'll be going for a ring. It's going to depend on just your account. How many like do you have more of? For me, I have 5 Torrent rings and only 2 Torrent necklaces, I think, but because I use a lot of my Torrent rings with like attack % destruction necklaces, I'll be going for a Torrent ring here. I also think attack % destruction necklaces are also pretty good to pick up here, just because they're kind of annoying to craft for. But here, we're going to go for our ring. You know, if you remake that, this one's pretty easy. Just whatever you need. Definitely not the flat ones, but I'm going a DPS ring, so it's only attack. You can go crit chance, crit damage for the necklaces. If you're going tank, then of course it's HP or speed. And if you're going boots, then make sure you're picking speed. We've got our attack here, and now you can spend 30 points to change your substats. Now when you roll, you can pick the old one or the new one, and we're going to go for the new one here. And you can see this crit damage is at a max roll of 7, so you can lock it. We're going to lock this, and now it's at 80. So it costs a little bit more to roll now, but now when we roll, we're guaranteed to keep this crit damage. So we're going to keep on rolling, and then hopefully we are going to hit a max crit chance. Or, there we go, there's our max crit chance. And now we can lock this. And now it costs 200, which is a lot. That's not a huge deal, because it's much better that we have less RNG here. Now for the substats that you're looking for, it's going to depend on what piece you're using, of course. You can only lock up the 2 substats, but because I'm doing a Torrent piece, I'll just be going for speed and flat attack on the last lines. If you're doing a destruction piece, I would say HP might be safer. If you're willing to have the piece potentially turned into a bruiser gear, then you can just put probably HP on that last line, and then you have a couple of options. Like if you hit HP, speed, and crit damage and dodge the crit chance entirely, you could use it on a unit that doesn't want to crit or has automatic crit. You dodge the HP, you can just mod the HP to flat attack, and then you have a DPS piece. or just dodge. If you dodge the speed, then you could mod this to defense, and then just have like a base speed bruiser kind of piece. So that's pretty much how you should be deciding on your substats. It's basic gear rolling rules, just whatever you would normally look for. One thing I will say though is because we have these gear pieces at base and not the full versions, if you're going for like a tank piece, for example, I would say probably don't do the pieces that have both flat attack and flat defense, just because the odds of you like bricking that piece are just way too high. I would only take one flat stat at most. And then the okay, I'm just going to roll through my rest. Okay, so this is the perfect line tier, but because these aren't maxed, we're not going to like, well, I mean, we'll change to it for now, but we're not going to confirm because there's no time limit on this. I could get a higher piece and I'm going to be waiting for it. Now, some of the old pieces that I've crafted, I only remember a few of them, to be honest. I think there was one Destruction Boots. Destruction Speed main stat. Like this. If I remember correctly, it should be... Oh, this is the only one that's like not converted. Actually, I think it was this one. So I'm using my Mort right now. I was originally using this on my... Pretty sure I was using it on my Apocalypse Ravi, then it got moved to Lionheart Sirmia, and now it's on my Mort. So this is an example of a bruiser piece. Pretty much impossible to brick. No matter how it rolls, it's going to be usable. And this is one of the reasons I think bruiser gears are nice for this event, just because you can't really brick it unless you low roll it. But this is just one of the boots that I've crafted before. And then I also have this piece here. I'm trying to remember which piece it was. I think it was this one. It was probably this one, just because, yeah, this was a piece that I crafted for Apocalypse Ravi, and it was just HP main neck because she really wanted it back then. I think I had this on Mort for a bit, and then I stole it for Lionheart. The defense I modded on afterwards. I just took off the speed because APOC used to want a little bit of speed, and now a lot of these units don't really care about it. So you can always mod one of your lines if you dodged it. So this is one of the pieces that I went for. This was a lot more niche back then. It was only APOC. Now I feel like there's quite a few units that want these sorts of necklaces. And I also think I crafted like 1 billion pen rings. You can just go attack, crit chance. Actually, let's not do crit chance. I don't think they all have crit chance. So this one was it used to be the Artena event. This was an Artena piece. I used to have crit chance here, and this is what I was talking about with the bruiser gear. Potentially, if you dodge certain lines, it could become usable for somebody else, because this was obviously originally a DPS piece, hopefully, but then I hit health twice, I hit crit damage twice, and I hit speed once, all with really, really high rolls. And because the crit chance here was originally only 5% before, it was 5% after Reforge, so I didn't really feel that bad about modding this off to give to defense. It's sitting on my Flitica unused right now, but this was used on my ML Bologna for quite a while because she doesn't need any crit chance, so I just put this on her. This was also an Artena piece, I'm pretty sure. I think, yeah, this one I didn't have, because the Artena events were time-gated, I had to take a lower crit damage roll on this. And we got kind of unlucky, and I don't feel like resetting it because the crit damage is min-rolled. If this was max roll crit damage and min-roll HP, I would probably be more likely to reset this, but oops, that took me out completely. And then this was also probably an Artena piece, and likely this one too, just because I remember crafting like 1 billion pen rings for this to pair with the pen necklaces from Cycle. So because pen set can be used for bruisers, you can see I kept HP on pretty much all of these, and that's just because there's the potential that you end up with a ring like this. I don't think I've ever crafted any tank gear from this, but it'd be your usual like tank gear. It's the same substat priority. Anyways, that is it for the, I guess, the Astral Forge guide, and good luck with your rolls.